Hello and welcome to a very special episode of Movie Guys Podcast. Today we're talking about Jurassic World. Great episode. I'm Jordan.
Tonight's episode is brought to you by the Be Real Podcast Network. For more episodes like this, go to BREELnetwork.com. Enjoy the show.
In preparation, we had an open and I make the schedule here and I run it by you guys. Hello and welcome to a very special episode of Movie Guys Podcast. Today we're talking about Jurassic World, our rant and rave episode. I am Jordan, along with Eric and Ed. How you guys doing this evening?
Hey,
Living a dream.
Yep.
So, in preparation, episodes coming soon. We had an open schedule, and I make the schedules here, and then I run it by, of course, you guys, and we decide what we want to do and not to do. And we had an open week. And Eric, for a good portion of the history of Movie Guys podcast, you have shit on Jurassic World.
Yeah.
And we are dedicating this whole episode to you bitching about Jurassic World and us debating over it and see who comes out on top here. So that's what we're doing today. But Eric, I'm gonna open the floor to you here, buddy. You said you hate this movie.
This is a god awful movie. It's everything about like why I love movies. This movie was just like shit on it. It almost like, listen, if everything that happened, if the movie was kind of aware of itself that it was doing it, I might actually give it a pass. But I think it was trying to strike twice, and instead it just like took a big shit. Oh god damn it, this movie just sucked, dude. I mean, for you to even argue that it was good, I don't want to take that away from you or anyone that did like it, because dinosaurs, I get it, whatever the fuck, in New Generation. But know that this movie just sucked. Like, from front to back, and on all tiers. On every single tier, not even just front to back, start to finish, but on every just level of the meta, it's fucking just horrible, god awful. It makes no sense as to why they did anything in this fucking movie. It really didn't. I'll start by hold on. Oh, do you want to? I was about to get in. Do you want
Listen, let him get his little rant going, and then when you're done, pass it to the defense, because I do have a few things I'd like to argue with you.
I mean, I'll open up. There's a lot. I don't really have it structured to how I want to open it up, but I guess I'll just start from the beginning, right? Where Jurassic World. So there's a park opening up on the island that was already existed. A world that we know where a tragedy has happened, like 3 times right now, right? The potential opening of Jurassic Park, the Lost World where Ian Malcolm goes back, and then for some goddamn reason, Alan Grant goes to find a kid for like $1 million, right? Isn't that what the hell the deal was? And then the military gets involved in number 3 too. So it's already well known in this world that there's a fucked up island with a bunch of dinosaurs on it, right? And that there have been mass tragedies for it, and it's just been fucking nuts, right? So what are we gonna do? We're gonna try it again. We're gonna open a big old theme park. Like, that park is packed, by the way, too, when it opens up, and you see Jurassic World they're doing it right, and it is packed. Nobody there gives a shit that tragedy has happened here. What, like 20 years ago? Is that the ticker on that?
Mm-hmm.
Is it 20 years? Yeah. It's gotta
Yes.
be
20 years.
Yeah, so 20 years ago that this has happened, okay? And everyone's just like, yeah, I guess that's okay. We're going to go. But nothing could happen this time. Like, they got a billionaire who's actually doing it now, and he knows what he's fucking doing. So everyone's doing it fine. They're just going to ignore the tragedy and go in. And from right off the bat, like the way that the attractions in the park are really kind of built in structure really doesn't like it comes back to bite you in the ass at the end, because at the end of the movie, when all the dinosaurs are released and running rampant around the island, which you knew was gonna happen as soon as you bought the ticket, so no denying that they're just gonna bust through the enclosures. Like, you didn't really do a whole bunch of shit. These dinosaurs are just busting through shit, breaking through. If that water crocodile thing is just going to jump 50 feet in the air over, there could have been people there. There could have been a whole mess of children there on a school tour, and that thing could have just jumped up at any moment. But no, he chose his time to get the T-Rex instead. I'm jumping, and I apologize for that. Let's go back to the start.
Okay. Let's. So I'm going to have a defense, and Ed, maybe you'll defend me on this one. In doing research for this Rant and Rave episode, the director Colin, I don't know what his last name is, but he directed Monsters.
It's Colin Trevorrow.
Trevorrow.
Or I might be mispronouncing it, but it's something along those lines. Trevorrow, something like that.
So Eric, you said the tragedy. Well, you're right. There was a tragedy 20 years ago in the movie world. The director, the screenwriters, everybody's pretending that Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 never happened.
Okay, so
this is the sequel to Jurassic Park.
To just the original. That's what they're going on, is just that.
Well, no, wait a minute. We're forgetting a few things. Is that the Jurassic Park 1? I might be getting the timeline wrong. 1 takes place on this island. 2 takes place on a second island.
Site
and then
B.
3, yes, and then 3 takes place on back on the original island. Correct?
Oh yes, you're right.
No, it does not. No,
okay.
Sure?
So that adds to my point,
because
yes, I thought maybe it did, but these were secondary sites. So I don't think that they're forgetting the fact that these movies existed. I think that you got to remember that in 2 and 3. That those were dark sites. Those were non-known places. They were probably known to the people that now bought what is now Jurassic World, but nobody else knew about it. So we only knew of the one tragedy, so they're only playing on the one. Okay, so continue.
No, not necessarily true. So here's the thing. Site B was in 2, and then Site B was in 3 because the main guy says to Grant, you know what's going on? He goes, no, I've never been on this island. So that was Site B. He was on the same island.
You're right.
As Ian Malcolm was in number 2. The reason why, and I'm sorry because I know you and I are going with each other here against Eric, but the reason why they're pretending for a fact that number 2, number 3 never happened is because in number 2, a T-Rex kills people in San Diego.
In the city, yep.
So
you got to keep in mind the time that movie came out. It was right after Godzilla came out, and fucking Godzilla did the same thing. Not Godzilla. Yeah, it was Godzilla in New York. Which one was that?
Broderick.
Godzilla. The
Godzilla
Matthew
2000.
Came out.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Matthew Broderick came out in 1998. Jurassic, the Lost World Jurassic Park came out in 97. It was a year before Godzilla.
Okay, so I got my timeline mixed up then. What was the movie where there was a giant thing running around? Oh, that was I was thinking about fucking Jason. What was the movie where there was something running around New York, a giant fucking thing killing people, and it was like 2000, 2001?
The shaky cam.
No, that was later. You're thinking Cloverfield, and that's a brilliant movie by J.J. Abrams, by the way. Don't anybody ever fucking shit on that movie, or I will fucking murder them. But I can't remember the name of the movie. I'm forgetting it off the top of my head. I'll look it up while we're talking here.
All right.
But anyway, so Eric, I get what you're coming from. Why after 20 years would they build something because just like the directors, let's pretend that 2 and 3 never happened. So if we're going to pretend that 2 and 3 never happened, there is no such thing as Site B. Then why would they do this? Well, because John Hammond, who had Engine, failed miserably, but Engine was still a company, was still a major player, was the umbrella corp of the Jurassic World.
Did you cut out?
Is he gone? Did he die?
Is Engine was still around.
Oh, there you go. Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you cut out, man. Go ahead.
All right, so Engine is still around. They have invested billions of dollars into this island. They probably have a lot of government issues with Costa Rica because of it. So they got to get this park up and running again. And they waited for John Hammond to die and to do what they wanted to do. And I believe the movie said that the park has been running successfully for the past 5 to 7 years before this movie takes place.
Yeah.
So for the past 5-7 years, the park has been running fine like Disneyland, and there's been no issues at all.
Right. It's very popular. It keeps on going.
But,
Okay. Well, no, that's fine. So
my
if
argument.
we're
That's my
ignoring the
argument
other
with the setup.
ones because that was a big thing in mind. It's like there was a fucking like people know that dinosaurs exist in this world, but if they're now saying that they're just gonna go straight from park to world, then okay, fine. Let's move on then. That's the answer.
Yes.
Got it. Let's go.
Well, you've got to keep in mind though that they never opened Jurassic Park, right? They never opened the park.
Correct.
So the fact that they had all this money spent, the company had to recoup all these costs, and the fact that they had to wait X amount of time, technology had increased in the 20 years that they held off until John Hammond died. So they had to make it bigger and better, and they did. And of course, the next step in developing, because these are not dinosaurs. These are recreated dinosaurs with whatever gene. I don't remember what genes they used in the first one. They say frog. That's what I thought. But
Frog DNA.
So of course they're splicing DNA. So these are not the dinosaurs that probably really existed. What they are, however, is so the next evolution is of course them to start splicing to see what they can create, and that's where they create the fucking T-Rex raptor. Which, okay, and now we're going into the idea of the story, which is thinking about it, that's really stupid because the raptor's really smart and the T-Rex is a god darn giant.
Well,
okay,
but remember the reason though as to why the main reason to why they're doing that, and it's not it's not for the attraction to get people into the park. It's so that BD Wong can sell them as military weapons.
And that's true. That's absolutely true because he wants to end world wars or something. He wants to send them like nukes and stuff like that. But he's doing it for the Raptors, if I remember right.
He was I mean, pretty much doing that whole playing God speech, right? That
right.
That whole thing.
Which I'll let me make this one point and I'll go back to.
I roll, dude. Come on, a military weapon. I'm gonna make dinosaurs as my military weapon.
You're taking this movie you're trying to take something Spielberg did, and this is not a Spielberg movie whatsoever. It was like
everything
you had
seems
to know.
more
You
of a
had to know
caricature.
walking in. You had to know walking in what this movie was going to be. You knew that it was going to be bigger. You knew that they were going to take everything that the other movies had done and try to make it modern, and then that they took the other, and then they were going to have the same problem. It was the exact same problems. I think that all due respect, you went into this movie wanting it to be as good as you remember Jurassic Park being, but then if you go back and rewatch Jurassic Park, they have the same problems. It's stupid. It's a great movie. I'm not shitting on Jurassic Park. I love Jurassic Park, and Steven Spielberg's great. And I think what the hell's his name? Ian Malcolm is one of my favorite characters of all time in film. But I think you just wanted it to be better because of nostalgia purposes.
It's not that. It's the way that it's written because Jurassic Park. This is now a Michael Crichton book, so it's basing a lot of the characters, the story, and everything off of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
you have in there characters who are kind of you have these different characters who were not, and they're all there for a reason to kind of just see and observe and just kind of grasp. They are kind of the approvers of what the hell this is going to be. And they just happen to get wrong place, wrong time as a angry employee kind of takes his own side mission, right? That's basically what all that is. So it's as far as the motives and everything else and why everything happens is more well explained. Whereas in this one, I didn't care for any of the characters. They were kind of poorly written. They were just very like they didn't even seem to really care about each other, to be honest with you. Besides the fact that Chris Pratt just wanted to fuck Bryce Dallas Howard like from the get go, like like all the things
Well,
that he
but
was saying to her was just like you can
they
feel
used
they're two loners, you know. Like she gave up her life to be a career woman, and nobody understands him but his Raptors. They're two outsiders, and so it's like already it's just kind of now this romance that's
I'm
really
I'm gonna
cheesily put into the movie.
I'm going to not let you shit on the writing for two reasons. Number one, because the same people that wrote and directed this movie are the same people that are directing and writing Star Wars 9. So I refuse to let the fact that this movie was generically written. I can't believe that. I refuse to believe it because I want Star Wars to be so good. Because Colin Trevorrow is writing and directing the film, and Derek Connolly is his co-writer, who was his co-writer on Jurassic World. Both of them are doing Star Wars 9. So so that's number one. Number two is that how else could you possibly have had the global and commercial success without you having the loner idea of Chris Pratt, and then the business career woman who doesn't ever get to see her nieces and nephews and wants to be a good aunt, so she invites them to where she works. She knows no other way because she can't leave. She's going to be there forever. Not really forever, but she's just there. That's her job. She lives there. That's her world. And then of course, they get together. Then you need to have a love story in a film that makes $172 fucking million, however much money this made. It's probably in the billions at this
You don't
point.
need to have a love story in something like this.
Yeah, in every single film.
People aren't coming for the love story; they're coming to see the dinosaurs.
No, but you know just as well as I do that any kind of movie like this has to have some type of has to have some type of love story in it. They really do. I mean,
Where was it in Jurassic Park?
There was between Dr. Hammond and not that Dr. Hammond, Dr. Grant and what the hell is her name? I can't remember.
Ellie.
Yeah. There was an underwritten love story, and if you go to 3, they were married and divorced.
There you go.
That's why they got together.
And the first is underwritten, so it was kind of like there's a little bit in there, just that wink kind of thing right there. Whereas this one it's thrown really into my face.
Well, yeah, but the reason it's thrown into your face is because that's the difference between film and novel. Like, Michael Crichton wrote the novel, and you can say more because you can think when it comes to film, or excuse me, books. When it comes to film, you have to put it out there. You have to give it to the audience because the difference between a film audience and a book audience is the book audience thinks and the film audience sees. So you have to just put it out there.
I'm going to go with Eric on this one, Ed. I'm sorry. The writing sucks because there's a big plot hole that they never say in the movie. They have to look up and read the plot description on. Do you know why Bryce Dallas Howard has to watch her nephews that weekend?
Because they're her brother and sister, or sister and brother-in-law getting a divorce.
They're getting divorced, but in the first Jurassic Park, Spielberg, a stronger director, would have done something more with that. Would have not just had the mother and the father say, hey, if something chases you, run. And then we don't see them get into the end of the movie. Back to them, and we would have gotten more of why she's so distant from them.
And therein lies that's your biggest problem, both of you, is because you're trying to make this Jurassic Park. It's not. It takes the same story and the same characters, but yes, Steven Spielberg is a stronger director. Forget about the fact that he took the guns out of people's hands in E.T. and made them walkie-talkies. Forget about the fact that he tried to commercialize things. You got to take into account that Steven Spielberg is a better director than this guy, and it's you're trying to make mashed potatoes out of corn here. It doesn't happen.
So let me what I'll back this up then and just ask you a question then. What should I have expected or not expected from this movie? And
Toys
how would
R
I
Us
have
movie.
known that? I mean, okay.
That
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't. I mean, if you look at it from an independent perspective, because we've talked about this, not necessarily in depth, but about Godfather 3. Okay, Godfather 1 and 2 are like two of my top 3 greatest films of all time, and they're up there in most film people's list. Godfather 2 and 3, 2 and 1, you can take them out of order, and they hate 3. Well, the reason they hate it is because they're trying to compare it to 2 of the greatest films of all time. Not that Jurassic Park is the greatest movie of all time or the top 5 or top 10, but you got to take this film as exactly what the film world's doing, trying to recreate things that were great back in the day. You know, they redid Judge Dredd. They redid RoboCop. You know, it's movies that were okay movies, but have large amounts of pop culture behind them.
All right, let's talk about this then, because in that this movie has a lot of it product placement. It is so
Yes.
this is just a cash money movie. Doesn't even matter. Write that bitch in a day. Stamp it Jurassic World. Get it out there. We're gonna make some money today. We're gonna make $1 billion on this movie. I don't even give a shit. And sell as much as you can. Put Verizon in there. Hell yeah, put more Mercedes in there. Everyone drives Mercedes in this movie, and have them roll up like real fucking cool and sleek. Like
Ed, I'm going to
Okay.
take this one. I'm going to take this one, Ed. I'm going to take this one.
Okay.
Eric, I hear what you're saying. When I first saw the movie in theaters, I was like, oh, really? Verizon? Really? This is stupid. But after watching it a few times and owning it on Blu-ray, I get the joke. Is Walt Disney, right? He's the visionary. He's the Howard Stark. You know what I mean?
okay.
This billionaire is Tony Stark. He is the flashy, pizzazz playboy that takes this wonderful idea that this old guy created and is, boom, stamping it, boom, putting mass marketing on it. And I get the joke because he says, hey, we should call it Verizon Wireless presents Indominus Rex, because that's what would happen. I mean, they're having discussions nowadays on ESPN about if Monster is going to start putting their logos on NFL players' uniforms. I mean, everything is branded and owned by something. And I like that because that's what a theme park like this would have. You know, Pepsi presents Stegosaurus. That's what it would do. I like that idea. You don't like that at all,
You're
huh?
exactly right. I'm behind you
That's
100%.
too fucking
It's
deep, dude. How am I supposed to get that from this?
Have you ever been
I got
to
that
Times
from
Square?
this.
When's the last time you've been to Times Square?
I've not been to Times Square.
Every time now Times Square is what is the real world equivalent of, not necessarily because there's dinosaurs and shit, but a real world equivalent of going to an attraction, a theme park.
But I don't see
You
that
know,
at Cedar Point. I don't see that at Disney World. I don't.
yes, you do. If you go to Cedar Point, you see Coca-Cola everywhere. If you
But I
go
don't
to
see Coca-Cola presents the roller
SeaWorld,
coaster.
you see Anheuser-Busch everywhere. You know, it's because they sponsor. Anheuser-Busch owns Busch Gardens and all that stuff, and SeaWorld. You see that stuff everywhere, dude. Like it's real life. Now, granted, the movie cost 150 million bucks, so they had to have somebody put their product in there. And, when Jordan and I were making movies together, we had pizza boxes from the company down the road because they gave us $100. You know, you got to pay for it somehow.
Dude, it's fucking
I
garbage.
forgot about that.
Unnecessary scenes.
Eric,
Just horrible.
Eric.
What?
Eric, my question to you is, so out of our deep analogy of sponsorships for going like Pepsi presents Triceratops or whatever, why don't you A, like that, or B, maybe get that? I mean, like, why don't you think that makes sense for a movie called Jurassic World where it's supposed to be this big grand thing in a theme park that's been around for 7 years? I mean, why don't you like that idea?
Because them all driving Mercedes is not even relevant to the park.
Who's driving Mercedes? You mean like Bryce Dallas Howard and shit when she's driving around?
Yeah, and the parents.
What about the parents?
That's true. I mean, I see what he's saying, that it's not relevant to the story that they all drive Mercedes. So if it's not relevant to the story that they all drive Mercedes, why is it a big deal to you that they all drive Mercedes?
Just product placement just means it's just like it reminds me that this movie is simply doing it for money. They don't. It's just a cash cow. That's all that is. That's fine, and it's just what this fucking movie is, and that's why I think that this movie is just. It does not add anything. All it was just give me your money movie. That's all it
Wow.
was. That's
Yeah, see, now that's interesting.
I see your gripe. I see your gripe on that one.
But see, no, but see, look, this is where I call bullshit on though, because we're all the same age. We all grew up watching the same movies. We loved Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Domino's was everywhere in that. They had a scene in Turtles of Mikey waiting for the Domino's guy, and they had to have a freeze frame image of the Domino's pizza box going into the sewer. You like that, but you don't like Verizon Wireless presents the T-Rex? That's interesting.
Was like are any of the like who are the other sponsors? Are like the T-Rex eating like Jimmy John's or something? Or did they or did they bust through
Freaky
a
Fast.
Subway or some shit like that? Did they eat that Mercedes Benz type thing?
Okay.
I mean I get it, but it's just that's just what it seems like to me. I don't appreciate those movies because it's I just didn't get really anything out of it. It was just boring to me, and I find myself like now playing this game of hide and seek. I'm probably being very, very cynical about this. I understand that, I do, but I mean, none of that movie was a surprise. And then there's just unbelievable parts to it too. I've told you guys about this before about how Bryce Dallas Howard the entire movie is wearing high heels. The entire movie, whether she's hiking in the goddamn rainforest jungle or she's running from that T-Rex, she's wearing high heels. She's killing it, dude.
I will say that you're at least consistent in your disagreement. Like to me, this is no different than any other generic. Like when you watch like horror movies, you know, when the little girl is or not the little girl, the teenage girl's running and she falls down and can't get up for 45 seconds.
Always wear a
and then
white
she gets
T-shirt,
murdered.
by the way, too. They always wear a white T-shirt.
Yeah. I see. It's true.
Case
I mean
in point,
that it.
Bryce Dallas
She,
Howard, by the way.
but she was wearing those heels when it all went down. Did you expect her to take her shoes off?
I
Yeah.
did actually. I'm
Yeah.
actually gonna go with Eric on this one too. I mean, like, I'm sorry, but if I was a chick and I saw a T-Rex,
Or maybe
I'm gonna
the
try to
boy.
run this. I mean, I would try to run as fast as I can, and I know high heels is gonna probably stall me.
And that's true, but would you? But I mean, have either of you ever been camping in deep woods?
Yeah, multiple
Like,
times.
yeah, you ever fucking step on a jagger bush or like a spiky rock? That shit hurts. I'd rather have any kind of shoe on than nothing.
No, I get that, but
You're gonna break
she
your
was.
ankle before you even get to that place, man.
That's true. That is a good point. I
What
can
Eric
see
is
that.
talking about is at the end when she opens up the T-Rex cage and she's on concrete in the middle of the park. I mean,
Yeah.
she's on concrete. She's not in the woods. She's not running away in the woods. She's on concrete. So I mean, like, I guess maybe it's the scenario of, oh, if this happened to me, I would have done this. I don't know, but Eric is I actually agree with on that. When she's running away from the T-Rex in high heels, it's like, oh, okay, all right, I don't believe it, but that's fine. That's fine.
All right,
But
see, I can concede that point. I mean, it's generic, you know, but
The other gripes like that are basically gripes against things that just help further the plot, and that's the only reason why they're there is to just help move this story along, like just change the scene or what have you. That's kind of what it is too. I didn't know or think I don't know much about botany or anything else like that. I don't know if the park, the old park, Jurassic Park. I don't know what the separation is between that and Jurassic World opening, but I didn't think that overgrowth would happen that much to where it would just kind of take over the entire fucking inside after 20 years. Like
you didn't geek out in that moment like I did. You didn't geek out when the kids stumbled upon the original Welcome Center. You didn't
oh,
like that?
that was awesome, but I didn't think that it was like 100 fucking years into the future where it was like It just got vines all over the place and shit.
Have you ever watched that show? I
Like,
forget.
there's a bunch of buildings over here in Detroit that have been abandoned for longer than that. They don't look like that.
Well, I forget. I forget the name of the show exactly, but it's like if when people are gone, or it was a history channel
Oh,
series.
after
After
human.
people,
Yeah.
yeah. And they would showed real life examples of after people had gone away from a certain area. Now you would use the example of Detroit, and it's true in an unfortunate circumstance. But if you look over in like the rainforest types of places with high humidity and large growth of plants, when people are gone completely for 5, 10, 15 years, animals and plants take over. The back of my house, I live in it's a small western Pennsylvania town. It's about an hour north of Pittsburgh. But the back of my house, I haven't trimmed the ivy in the year that I've lived here, and I already have it in my basement. The old ladies that lived here before me, before she passed, she trimmed it every day because she was retired and could do whatever and could do that. I can't, and I have it growing in my basement now. I have to call somebody to take the whole thing out. That was a year.
So the old lady trimmed it every day, huh?
Yeah, she trimmed her bush every day.
Nice.
So it's overgrown that much, but when the kids stumble upon the Jeep in the garage, they're able to just kind of shrub off a few branches that fell onto it, and then put a new battery in it, and it starts up.
You'd be
Valid point.
surprised. Well, now wait. Now here's what
I
here's
would
what I
be
can say with that.
surprised. I would be very surprised.
I will say this. It realistically it would take more than a battery, but at the same point, I for those that don't know the outside world, I work in the car industry at this point, and I follow a lot of auctions and stuff like that. There was a local guy here who had a car lot that he ended up passing away, but he was basically like a Howard Hughes type. He made enough money, and he just kept buying cars left and right, and he let them they weren't necessarily in garages, but they sat out. And a lot of those people, I actually went to the auction just to talk to them. Made a couple kept in contact with this one guy. He bought because long story short, he bought a car that my grandparents had. It wasn't the exact car, but it was an early to mid '90s Chrysler LeBaron, and I just loved that car. I actually tried to buy it, but he outbid me by like $1,000.
Car's a classic.
Right. So I kept in contact with the guy just through emails and whatnot. And I asked him, I said, what did you need to do to get it to run? And it sat outside since the late '90s. It sat outside. The roof had basically caved in. I said, what did you do to get it started? And he goes, really, all I had to do was I had to change the oil, change the filter, put a battery in it, and put some fresh gas in it, and the thing turned over.
Yeah, but these kids didn't put fresh oil, fresh gas, and they just put a goddamn battery in it.
Right, but we're talking real world versus movie world now. Okay,
like I said, these
point.
are things that happen in this movie just to kind of move it along. They're stuck here, and they're gonna move on to the next scene. Don't worry about all the overgrowth that they now also have a clean road that they can just drive on too. But
Yeah, but you know what
movie.
though? I think, and I'm not trying to compare Spielberg's Jurassic Park and Colin's Jurassic World, but the one thing I will compare is that sometimes you just have to give movies the mulligan. I mean, Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park, we get, of course, everybody knows the fuck up. We get the Jurassic Park fence, and then the Jurassic Park fence. We get the T-Rex fence. He knocks the car over, and somehow the T-Rex is 100 feet tall because they fall down a cliff. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say? I mean, like, you give it that fuck up because the movie's so energetic, so much fun, and you just forget about it. This movie, I think, was trying to do that.
Yeah.
For a long time, this movie.
Wait, you disappeared again.
Oh, do you got me now?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, sorry. But Eric, my argument is to you is you say this movie is dog shit and this is the worst movie ever. I mean, you ranking those statements in the beginning of the episode.
Yes, because the way that everything moves and transitions is just like I'm constantly giving it mulligans here, Jordan. I'm just constantly eye roll. I'm like, okay, we're moving it on. We're moving it on. We're still going. We're still going. We're still going. The way that the dinosaur, the way that there's an accident in the raptor pit, and the way that the Verizon Saurus escapes the pit,
Nice.
are just completely escapes every and all protocol that this reputable industry, this theme park, had been doing, and they've been very reckless with their fucking security. Like they opened up the garage door to go take a look at that Verizonosaurus thing. Like
Hmm?
just use a human-sized door, man. Why would you open up? I gotta go check it out. Me, this human, I'm gonna open up this big old bay door, and I'm gonna go check out to see where's that dinosaur at? What's going on in here? What's the ruckus all about? So like protocols like that where it's easily you know what's gonna happen. It's the whole James Bond thing and the slow moving laser that's slowly going to oh how is he gonna and there it fucking happens. You know what's gonna happen. But like they could have done it in a more believable way. I mean, in the other movie, you had a long explanation for it. You had a motive of a frustrated worker, and then the dinosaurs just running kind of amok already, doing their dinosaur thing.
Dinosaur thing. Eric, I hear you 100%, but my whole argument to this movie and to this review was I don't think the movie's as terrible as you say it is because, unlike the director and the writer, I cannot forget about Lost World and I cannot forget about Jurassic Park 3. So because I can't forget about those movies, this movie's arguably better than those two.
Sure.
And I feel like I got the sequel to Jurassic Park that I rightfully deserved, unlike the other two. So I hear what you're saying. I'm sick of giving it mulligans. I get that, but it's so much better than those other two. I'm going to give it as much mulligans as I want because it's better shot, it's better directed, it's better acted, and I think the story makes more sense than Lost World. I think the story makes more sense than Jurassic Park 3. So, I mean, that's where I'm coming from on this. You know what I mean?
Well, how about this? In all fairness, how about this? The other part too is for this whole cash cow money thing is the characters that they got too, because the way that they play them are very just Hollywood heartthrob. That's their roles and to play them. So they're not meant to be any sort of overly dramatic character. They're meant to be young and attractive and come see the movie. Hey, by the way, did you check out my abs in that last movie? Well, here I am in this movie, looking real good.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
And then the other Bryce Dallas Howard, everyone's just like, oh, is that Jessica Chastain? I don't know. I'll go see her. She's redhead. And that's what happened. They go see her, and I don't know. So what I'm shitting on this movie a lot, and so there were a few things that I would maybe improve upon. One would probably be the character development. And that's all it is. You can keep the Hollywood heartthrobs, but they don't have to be so goddamn. I know that I'm gonna fuck you later kind of attitude, or that overly confident type. Hollywood confident. That's a good way to put that. They're the acting Hollywood confident type thing. I would cut off the parents getting divorced altogether. I'd just cut that out altogether. So that could be explained in a phone call, email, video because they have the technology, or just the kids coming in and just dialogue with them, what have you. That would also be a good way to kind of build the relationship between the brothers too, to kind of see how they interact a bit more. Because during the movie that we got, I felt like the two brothers pretty much didn't give a shit if they live or died. You know, like I felt like
Well,
they were
good
just
point.
kind of an inconvenience to each other. So if there was a bit more of like companionship there too, then their teamwork kind of working together would be well, I don't know, a little more enjoyable to watch rather than them kind of overcoming this boundary. But that might be directed towards, or that might be overthinking it too. It's just fucking dumb. So I'm saying that,
Well,
and then I'm moving on from that too. I would probably have the Bryce Dallas Howard character. Maybe look a little bit more worn if she's really stressed out and working that many hours. Maybe she doesn't look so goddamn angelic. Kind of see that she really is kind of independent career woman a little bit more. Maybe why are they all white? Like
that's not true. We got the Asian doctor from the last one. I'm sorry, from Jurassic Park. Come
It just
back.
seems
So
like just
he's
the
in
way
there.
Yeah. Oh no. Bryce Dallas Howard's outfit always just so white. Just
Oh, the outfits. I'm sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
very her white power suit.
Well, this
She's
is
making Jurassic World great again.
Yeah.
well. I want to talk about the future. The Jurassic World sequel is scheduled to be released in June of 2018. Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard are officially 100% in the movie. It's not rumored; it's confirmed. And I'm excited about this one. And Eric, I think this one could give you some good ideas for the future. But the director is J.A. Baona.
Why are they going back? Why are they going back?
Because, well, okay, first of all, the director is J.A. Baona, I believe, and he's the director of two really good movies: The Orphanage, The Impossible, and I'm sorry, a third one, A Monster Calls. That's this director's body of work.
Oh, that's the new one coming out, right?
Mm-hmm. And Owen, Chris Pratt plays Owen, and Bryce Dallas Howard plays Claire. And it's coming out in 2018. It's just untitled as of now,
So
but that is confirmed.
It's pretty much them recovering the park. Then is that what we're gonna assume?
I have no idea, but this
You
director,
can't assume that. You can't assume
pretty
that
good,
because the original trilogy was Park 1, Park 2, Park 2.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right?
I have no idea what they're going to do with this one. I don't know how the hell you can have a sequel after this one. I mean, like, this one pretty much sealed the deal, right? I mean,
The
there could be
original
no more
trilogy.
Jurassic.
Well, they're going to have a sequels for the same reason that Eric pointed out that they made this movie. It was a commercial movie. It's meant to make studios a lot of movies, a lot of money so that they can make the movies that we actually like.
Yeah, but this is how Eric's opinion, though, is very, very true. Because how are they going to realistically tell a good story to make a sequel to a movie that literally said at the end of the movie, this is it? I mean, there's no more Jurassic Parks. Literally, we had a Jurassic Park incident 20 years ago. People
Because
died.
they didn't plan on making another movie, and then it made $2 billion. So of course, it's like Saw. Saw costs $10,000 to make, and they are grossed hundreds of billions of dollars. Of course, you're gonna make 20.
Well, that's fine.
You
if
have
they're
to
going to
make
make a sequel.
You have to make those movies so that
But
you can make
Eric,
the movies that everybody likes.
but Eric is right in his fear of what happened in this movie. It's my fear for the next one. Yes, I like this director that's going to be for the sequel of Jurassic World. But where's the story realistically going to go? Regardless if it's a cash cow, regardless of how much money it made, how are they going to tell a good story where at the end of the movie, literally a lot of people died and the park is going to be closed down? Like, where are you going to go?
They'll
And
tell the
how?
same. They'll tell the same story that Jurassic Park 2 did. That they had a second site. That's the only thing that they can do.
If they do that, it will be terrible. And Eric, I will be officially on your side from
Thank
now
you.
on if that happens.
I mean, that's what they have to do. And it wasn't like Jurassic Park 2 was bad. It was a generic story too.
No, it was.
It wasn't.
No, Jurassic Park.
It wasn't
Jurassic.
bad. It was just generic.
Oh, it
The
was
same way
terrible.
this movie was
No,
fucking generic, dude.
Lost World was
What
terrible.
What was it about Lost World? Because that's when they started to introduce kind of the newer breed of dinosaurs, right? What was the one? Was it the little ones?
The compies.
Yeah,
The compies have always been around.
Yeah,
ones
they were introduced.
Three
That
was when he ate the child. Was when the compies ate the kid. I don't know. I don't remember if they were in 2 or not. I don't remember. But I know that at the beginning of 3, they ate the kid.
No, they didn't. In the beginning of the Lost World, which is the second one, those
Yeah.
small dinosaurs attacked the girl, but John Hammond said that she survived with just some scars. So she survived. The opening of 3 is when their son was parachuting through the island and the
Oh, that's
spinal.
right.
Yeah. Um, but I have no idea. But Eric, I will be on your side if the sequel tells a story that's just totally unbelievable. Because I'm sure you would agree, at the end of Jurassic World, there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a massive Disney park kind of style, and it goes haywire. People are dead. We saw a lot of people die by the pterodactyl dinosaurs. I mean,
that's right.
where
Yeah.
How are they going to continue Owen and Bryce Dallas Howard's story? I don't know. We'll see.
But I'll tell you what right now. Go over the top. Let's do this. Okay? Go over the top and have both of them kind of just get married. They're in love. They retire on a little ranch after the trauma that they've endured in Jurassic World, and on the ranch they they breed raptors. He's a free range raptor breeder, and
nice.
that's what he does.
She's pregnant.
Harvesting free range raptor eggs.
Yeah,
she's pregnant.
She's pregnant, of course. Yeah,
and we don't know if it's his baby or a raptor's baby.
Clever girl.
Nice. Nice. That was good.
Oh man,
that was good. There's no way we can follow it, but no, yeah.
All right, Eric. This was your episode. Do you want to get the last word in? I mean, I feel like we've been all talking over you for most of this.
No,
this was your episode.
Listen, I pretty much said what I needed to say. There's just about that. There were just more in-depth characters, and I'm sure it's more just because of what was said here. Is that the book had more well thought out characters, and then it was converted into the movie, and it just had that very good guideline to follow. And that's fine. Whereas this one was just solely for the purpose of taking that good name, making $1 billion on it, and keep that money train rolling. So it didn't really have to do a lot for it. It just had to look pretty and have some good action scenes. That's all this was. So I'm not trying to take that away from anybody. If that's what you enjoy, if that's your movie, that's fine. For me, I just felt that Jurassic Park, if they were going to do something, a pure sequel from Jurassic Park into Jurassic World, that there probably would have been more ideas or better ideas for them to go with, better characters to use, and just overall better decisions made kind of what they could have done. They don't need to be big. But to make it more enjoyable or believable or keep kind of with the respect that it is in Jurassic Park instead of making it kind of a popcorn eat 'em up, Playboy movie. Pretty much, it's kind of what that was. And then to set up for a sequel too, I get it. So it did have a few things that worked for me. I liked that it's a bigger billionaire guy who's just coming in here saying, you know what, I got this. We're gonna do it right this time. And the park has been open and operating for some time now, so it's working well. It has a system and it's a theme park. It is working too. So it has a good setup there for what it could have potentially happened next. But after that, I didn't really feel for anything. The characters, I think that everything was just character introduction of who's going to live or die by a dinosaur. That's after everyone was coming in and say he's dead for the dinosaur, she's going to live, he's going to die. They might die, maybe, I don't know. They're all fucking dead, all of them. So it's just give me the action. That's what this movie was. So I didn't appreciate it. I thought they could have gone a little bit more clever way with the ideas. I don't know. That's my thought about it. That's my opinion though, right?
Yeah, that's your opinion, and you're entitled to it. And I think this was
It just fucking the way that it just kind of went from scene to scene, just kind of almost like an elementary school play where it was just like say the line next, say the line next, look sad next. Just the way that I'm very hard on this fucking movie. I just don't know why. I just did not like it.
Well, you know what? I think this was a great discussion, and I think we definitely had our opinions crossed on this one. And I can't wait to have another rant episode. Give us a lot of good, get us a chance to refresh our batteries a little bit, right?
Yeah, this is what Movie Guys has always been about. We love it, and the unfortunate thing is that we've just seen a bunch of movies that we've all just either all liked or all hated. So I'm glad we were able to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. And next week we have decided, fans, that we're going to be doing Split, and we're going to save the founder for Oscar time. So so after this episode, tune in the following week for our review of Split, because I'm really kind of excited to see this one. But Eric and Ed, thank you so much for joining me in this discussion. And there's no winner. I guess the fans can decide, right?
It's all opinion. I'm just letting you know why this movie sucked.
Hey, tweet us
Didn't make
who
any
you
sense.
thought won. Tweet us who you thought won. Did you like the movie or not? Jordan, where can they find us on social media?
They can find us on Twitter at MovieGuysPod. Check us out at movieguyspodcast.com and also on Facebook, search Movie Guys Podcast. So thank you so much for downloading this episode. And also check us out on iTunes, search Be Real Network or Movie Guys Podcast. You can find out this show and many other shows as well. So have a good night, guys, and we'll talk soon.